Hey guys, well, I got a video yesterday. I think I did it, and I don't think I posted it yet because there's some. There's some. Yeah, hello. There are. What the hell are all these things here? Okay, I don't need all these. And somebody's the video that I did yesterday. It's a long video because I was doing things at the same time as I was talking about something that wasn't related to what I was doing. I was cutting some of that fireboard for over there because tomorrow that's going to be done. But when I was doing it, I was talking about two antenna companies that I've always, I always thought pretty good of them. I used them a lot. I really did. But last couple of days, they both left a bad taste in my mouth. On the SOCM, which is not a big deal, but it's something that I take serious. If I take on a role, if I tell you I'm going to do something, I'm going to give you 100%, regardless of what it is. So I took on this CM thing, and it's been over a year now, and I'm probably going to be it for another year or two. But anyway, I decided that I wanted to try something. Well, I got these out, so we'll use these. Now there's 7 or 8 repeaters. Actually, there's like 15 or so, but there's 7 or 8 that I'm concerned about. But we'll say there's 5. And I'm here. Now, this repeater can talk to this repeater. So whoever's here to here can kind of talk to there. But this one can't make it here, this one can't make it there, this one can't make it here. So there's a couple that can, and there's more that can't. They can talk among themselves, but what I'm trying to do is set up a network up here in the East Coast, and where all these repeaters can talk together. So no matter who is talking during the net, the Northeast net I want to call it, the network, basically if there's a disaster and the Coast Guard says we need you to get on the radios and be ready to pass traffic. So if this is the repeater that I'm working within, I'm limited to what this repeater can do and what I can do to get to it, as well as everybody else that's on it. So if this one has traffic that has to get to here or here, it really can't, because we got to find somebody that's on this one that might be able to hit this one, and then the same thing from this one to this one. Now, everybody always counted their own network, so to speak, as their own, and they never attempted to see what they can do outside the box as far as hitting other repeaters. So about 6 weeks ago, maybe a little bit longer, because it's going to take a while. This isn't an overnight thing. There's a lot of figuring out frequencies, PL tones, what we can do, what we can't do, who does what, who does where. There's a lot going on, because you're dealing with not just, we'll say 10 guys, now we're dealing with 60 guys, for instance, from New Jersey up to Vermont, over to Massachusetts and Maine. So I'm trying to get it so that we can all communicate. So if something comes in to sector and says you got to get this out, I know that if I pass it, it can get to here, which will get to here, which will get to here. You follow me? And then eventually it'll get to where it's supposed to go. Because right now, it's basically working within our own system. You know, that's really not helping. And we have people that are not ham operators that are part of this, because it's a different type of, these are government frequencies. It's not like a ham operator operates on like a Mars frequency or something like that, which they do, and it's great that they do because they're a big help. However, this is different. So you don't need a ham license to do this with the Coast Guard, because you're talking on Coast Guard repeaters. As long as you're a member of the Coast Guard and you are part of that team, then you can use that repeater. So there's a lot of guys that want to get involved. There's a lot of them that are involved, but they're losing interest because nothing's going on. There's nothing there, you know. So over the last 6 weeks, I've been talking on the phone to these guys, emails to these guys, and they're all a good bunch of guys, and they all want to talk. They call me on the phone, you know, good idea. I'm on the net, because we have it twice a month now. It used to be once a month. And I'm on the net, and we're trying to figure out how far we're getting, how far we're not, who can be on. You may sit there for half an hour and not do anything, because if you can't hear us, you don't know. But that's part of it. You know, so now I can call you and say, did you hear us? No. Okay, so now we know that one can't hear. You know, so a kind of elimination thing. So these people want to get involved, and they're starting, the morale is starting to come back. So meanwhile, I was trying to get this antenna. This one antenna, it's a beam. So it kind of pinpoints and gives its power to one location. So I'm here. If I had my antenna southwest a little bit, I can probably hit the New Jersey repeater and everything in between. Because if I hit New Jersey, that means I'm going to be able to hit New York, and I'll probably be able to hit, there's another one down there in New Jersey, right next to Sandy Hook, that one, and I can probably even hit the Hudson River repeater. So there's 4 of them that I can hit within that kind of a turn, if any turn. This one up here, that's in New London. It's nearby. However, everything has its limitations. So if I turn the beam that way, I can probably get to that one. Now this one can talk to this one. And they're putting up another one right here, which will also help. So if this one could talk to this one, and I could talk to this one, you see, now I can pass traffic. And if this one can get to me, we're all set. Now, I really didn't want to put myself into the center, you know, and have maybe the center hub, so to speak. That just puts a lot more on me. However, if that's the way it's got to be done, for now, I don't mind. Fairfield, however, may be able to do something here. Fairfield, which is another one down here, because they can get into the New York one, and sometimes into Sandy Hook. They can also hit Long Island Central, and I think I heard him say he can hit New London. Now, when we say hit him, we're talking about hitting him Lima Charlie, loud and clear. We're not talking about, you know, well, occasionally I get him, sometimes I get him, depending on the weather I get him, because we can't have that. It has to be all the time. So that's what we're trying to do. So I call up an antenna company, Diamond, to make good antennas. I have them. The antenna that I wanted to try is $130. It's a beam. And I also need to buy a rotor for this thing. I didn't think I was going to have to, but I'm going to need a rotor as well. That's another $130, but whatever. $130 for the beam. Retail. That's what they sell it for. If you call up one of the dealers, a ham dealer, it's a ham antenna, that's what they're going to sell it for. So I said, well, if I get a hold of Diamond, You know, I wonder if they'll like sell me one at a discount maybe, you know, or possibly have one that I can sample and try, you know, because sometimes they have samplers, you know, maybe they'll even give it. You know, these are things that I'm thinking about here. So after finally a few days of trying to get a hold of Diamond, and like 4 times in one day, I finally get somebody on the phone, no, I'm sorry, via email, saying that they're sorry they can't help me. They don't want to compete with their dealers. They're not retail. Well, did they not read the email properly? You know, I didn't say anything about I want to buy them off of I put in there that I am with who I'm with. I'm trying to accomplish something that hasn't been done yet. And I was wondering if they had the antenna that they have that they can give me a good deal on, seeing that it's coming out of my pocket. And if not, you know, do they have a sampler that I can borrow to try it before buying? They get back to me again saying, well, we're sorry, but we don't compete with our dealers. Basically, they're playing stupid. So I got back to them again with another email, being a little rude, and they say, sorry you feel that way, you know, and that was it. Now, these companies, if you get on YouTube, and you look up ham radio stuff, 2 meters, stuff like that, and a lot of these guys, they give them these antennas. Here, it's yours to keep. Just do a review on it. Okay, so you're giving antennas away to the guys that's going to do reviews that will hopefully earn you money. But you won't give one that's costing you maybe, I'd say between 40 and 60. And I'll give you the benefit of $60 to make. You can't give one up to the government, you know, to somebody that's trying to do something. Come on, you know. I mean, it's ridiculous. So anyway, screw it. I'm not going to deal with them anymore. So I call up Highgate. I get Highgate on the phone, and after a few calls, and I come to find out that they are part of MFJ. So them and MFJ, well, they didn't team up. What happened was MFJ bought Highgate. Hold on, guys. I need my back brush. So I find out that they're MFJ. Now, I'm not a big fan of MFJ. What they make, if it works, it works. Their quality control, in my opinion, needs a lot of help. There's a lot of things that come in through there that I purchased that always needs a little something to be fixed, to repair, to make it right. You know, it's just, the quality control sucks. I did buy an antenna from them. It cost me $40. It's out here. I use it. And that's another thing I'll get to in a second. And I use it for my 2 meter stuff, for my own personal stuff. And the day it came in, I hooked it up, put the analyzer on it. It was bad. I mean, like, I didn't want to use it bad. I call them on the phone and tell them, listen, I just got this in, blah, blah, blah. Well, send it back and we'll take a look at it and take care of it. Okay, send me a pickup. No. I had to pay to send it back. Oh, wait a minute. And I got to pay to get it back again? I mean, I don't know. He didn't have an answer for that one. So if that means I had to pay for both, it was going to cost me $40. Because I called UPS, it was going to cost me $19.20 one way. So if the antenna cost me $40, forget about it. I took it apart. It was a malfunction with them, quality control. I had to fix it. Now I fixed it. It's working fine. It's up on the tower, and that's where I'm at. But there was always a little something with their stuff. I don't know if they just don't care. If it works, it works. I don't know. It's a good company. They have things that other places don't have. They're always looking to outdo the next, you know. But again, the quality control needs help. But anyway, I find out that MFJ owns High Game. I get a hold of this guy, Tom, I think his name was, finally. And I told him, this is what I'm trying to do. And he was being cooperative as trying to, like, yeah, you should be able to do it. You got mountains in your way going north. So, yeah, he's going along with what I'm thinking and what I'm doing, and we're kind of getting to it. He says, well, it probably would help, blah, 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 blah. I said, well, here's the question. I says, is there a chance of possibly selling me one at a good deal, seeing that I have to pay for it out of pocket, and I don't even know if it's going to work. And once I make the modification, this is what I was talking about now with ham radio antennas, once I make the small, hopefully small, modification for this antenna to do what I want it to do on the frequency that it needs to do, I may not be able to bring it back to work on the frequency that I need it to work on if it doesn't work there and I want to use it personally. So this antenna, if it doesn't work there, there's a chance that it's not going to work for me either. You follow me? Because once I modify it, I don't know if I can unmodify it. So again, I'm wasting it. He goes, well, we don't like to compete with our dealers. I said, I understand that. Same story, I said, but I'm not looking to buy 100 of them. I'm looking to buy just one to try it. So if you can't, do you have a sampler you can even send me? Something that I can get an idea if it's going to work. So he did say, well, hold on a minute. And then he comes back a few minutes later and says, because of the tubing shortage, they haven't got any in stock. They have a new one coming out, but that's not going to be out for at least 2 to 3 months. Maybe. Again, tubing shortage. So, again, basically, so he says, but we have a lot of dealers in our network, on our computer, on our website, that may be able to help you with some type of a discount. So basically, again, one of these things. So it kind of pisses me off to know that some of these companies will give things away like this, to people that are going to so-called give them reviews, and they talk about it for an hour, and while they're talking to everybody else, and that's about it. But they won't help out their country by giving them an antenna that they may have $60 in it to it, maybe. And the other thing is, these companies are big companies, I mean, it's not like, they're just making it. So I decided I'm just going to have to buy the antenna. So I spent $130 today, put it on a credit card, and it'll probably be in tomorrow or Tuesday, and then we're going to have to see if it works. But then I still have to get the rotor. That's another $130. So, and again, if I knew it was going to work, I wouldn't mind, because I'm going to be able to use it. But not knowing if it's going to work, that's just like taking $130 at this point, or $260 counting the rotor, and just going as I'm driving down the street, and it kind of sucks. Now, there's a 50-50 chance if I convert it to fit these government frequencies, depending on how far I got to, or what I need to do, I should be able to put it back to amateurs so I can use it for my own personal hobby. However, I don't need it for my own personal hobby, because I have enough antennas up there. So that's kind of where I'm at. But meanwhile, the wife told me it's after 4. She told me dinner's done. I was going to pull these out and start figuring out where I'm going to put them, because tomorrow I just got to pick up some heat retardant. They have this foam, like the crack foam stuff. It expands. That'll take up to 2,400 degrees. It's made for, heat, fireplace, and stuff like that. So I'm going to pick up a couple cans of that and just finish all that off because my back is killing me. You know, from being up like this and up like this, you know, so I said, you know what, what's done is done. The rest of it just filling in here and there. The form will be a lot easier and it'll be just as good. So that's what I'm going to do. Alright guys, apparently my dinner is done. So we're having fettuccine. Well, we're having Alfredo broccoli, and I think she